Oh. Hi everyone, this is Kate from Crocoblock. Guys, the ones who are already with us, could you please let me know if you can hear me clearly, if you can see me, if everything is working and connection is okay? Just, let me know in the chat box, okay? Okay, I can see. Okay, wonderful, guys. Thank you very much. I'm very glad that you joined us today. Today, we're having our second JetTalks live stream, and we're going to actually touch a very interesting topic, a very recent topic, the dynamic templates of ours that have been released just recently. Like, I guess it was in the beginning of the month, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it's really, really cool feature and cool thing to use, especially if you're if you know Crocoblock, if you know the product, but you still are not sure if you know it like on 100%, and you can assemble and disassemble the template. You can study every tiny little thing that our developers implemented in those dynamic templates, and our designers created those lovely images and content for it. So you can study it, you can use it for your future projects as well, and also you can have a lot of fun with it. So as you already understood and as you saw in our messages on Facebook and stuff, we will touch the topic of dynamic templates today. And today's live stream, I'm hosting together with our two wonderful people, our, spirit makers and our moving power, I would say, of the team. So just give me a minute. I'll change the screen. There we go. So guys, please welcome our wonderful CEO, Andreyev. Hi, Andrey. How are you doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm fine. Excellent. Thank you.
Yes, and also please welcome Andrey Shevchenko, our CTO of Crocoblock.
Hi all.
How are you doing today?
Thanks, we're fine. Let's start.
Okay, so I'm giving the floor to our CEO. Andrew, could you please start?
Yes, thank you. I hope everybody hear me. Yeah, everything okay. So hi everybody. One more time. I understand that now is Friday evening, summer, vacation time, and not many of you want to listen to this boring speech. And that's why, first of all, I want to thank you for being with us on air right now. Today, I want to speak with you about dynamic templates, what they are, why they are so important for us, and why I personally believe in them. I will tell you in general, and my friend and our Chief Technical Officer, Andrey Shevchenko, will give you answers on all technical questions. So before I begin, I want to say that I have over 15 years of experience in managing website and template buildings. And my team has not less experience in WordPress development. So our decision of creating dynamic templates is a result of our experience and desire to make something different from ordinary templates, something that can bring more value to developers. So what is dynamic templates? At first sight, dynamic templates have not got any differences from other thousands of templates. But this is not true, and I will try to explain you why. If you take some template, for example, from Template Monster or ThemeForest or any other marketplace, you can see that there are two types of templates, or as I call this, two types of pane. First type, when you have a cool picture, awesome wrapper, good presentation, yeah, good design, but inside there is no any functionality. I call that type of templates beautiful empty beer can, because outside it looks pretty good, but frankly speaking, it's absolutely useless. The second case, or the second pane, I don't know, the same story, cool picture, awesome wrapper, good design, even kind of a lot of functionality, but either there is overloaded functionality, or you have to pay extra money for functionality. I call this type of templates Titanic, because it's really luxury, huge, high performance mechanism, but it's so I don't know, inertial, clumsy, and awkward that, for example, tiny iceberg can make many problems, or even sink a ship. Yeah. So knowing all these peculiarities, we have made templates without all these mistakes, that to our mind have the perfect balance of functionality, usability, and performance. And frankly speaking, we also wanted to show you what our templates and plugins are capable of. These templates have unique features that make them special. And the main feature is that dynamic templates have been built as a single one ecosystem. All templates are based solely on Jet plugins, and this fact gives many benefits. And I want to tell you about these benefits. The first feature, or the first benefit, is, as I said, one ecosystem with only Jet plugins. And for developers, it means that all plugins inside the templates, they have one interface that, you can agree with me, it is very comfortable, and all plugins are fully compatible. And it's obvious because plugins are made by the same developers. The second feature, I'm sorry, but everything is okay, yeah, with my picture? It's okay, yeah? I can continue, yeah? Okay, thank you. The second feature is no unnecessary stuff. What does it mean? We are concentrated only on functionality. You will never see in our templates a huge amount of, I don't know, skins, huge amount of home pages, about pages, 404 pages. or some, I don't know, shop functionality in block template as it usually appears. We understand that design is not so important for developers. The most important is functionality, and it's very difficult. We understand that even if developer has our plugin suite, he has to figure out with all this stuff, you know, booking forms, taxonomies, relations, filtering, block, and many more. Yeah, and to make developers' life easier, we've just made, let's say, pre-made functional blocks with all settings. So our template, it is not about design, it's about functionality. The third feature is flexibility. Essentially, it concerns the architecture of Jet plugins themselves. Because plugins was made in such a way that features are built with the help of an abstract model. It means that our developer tried to make functionality as much as possible abstractive and independent. And this fact gives many useful consequences. I can say that developer is limited only by his imagination. Frankly speaking, sometimes even our developers exactly don't know what our powerful plugins are capable of. And I want to say that it's absolutely opposite story if compare it with classic plugins. Usually third-party plugins give us opportunities to build layout in a different way. For example, only inside bar, yeah, you can build, for example, one input and button and some short description. That's all. If it's well-developed plugin, you will be offered by 5 variants of this block. Yeah. If you want another layout, sorry, you cannot, or you can go to the code and write whatever you want by yourself. Yeah. With Jet plugins, you don't have such problems because all features, I repeat, are abstract. Yeah, I agree. I understand that it's more difficult for understanding and working with it. But if you figure out with it, it will free your hands, and you will be able to do almost anything. Yes. The fourth feature is one support for all templates and plugins. In my opinion, this feature is very important because when you have one place where you can get help with all your project, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, you can say that many template providers have this feature. Yeah, you're right, but you shouldn't forget that when you buy a template from any marketplace, you have only template support, but not plugin support that are included in template. And if you, God forbid, have some problems with plugins, you will have to go to template provider, wait till they fix this problem, and then we'll give you fixed files. I think it's normal. It's not normal situation. It's awkward. I don't know, even more, I would say in some cases it's dangerous, especially when you work with such difficult project like hotel booking, appointment system, car dealer, real estate. When usually developers are using many third-party plugins from different providers, yeah, and believe me, with our templates, you will never have a situation like this, because we are the one provider of templates and plugins inside. So the last one feature is fair price. Some people say that our price is very high, and I can absolutely agree with it. Really, $750, it's pretty huge sum of money. But we've counted that for one project, for example, like our but with all functionality, for this one project, you have to buy approximately 12 third-party plugins. And the price of each is approximately like cost of our, for example, all-inclusive pack. So you draw conclusions, yeah. Practically, the tool that I wanted to say, you are free to ask. One more thing that I want to say, you can get our templates in all-inclusive set, only all set. Now we have 7 templates, dynamic templates to produce. In the nearest release, real estate template and yoga club template. So now I give the floor to my colleague Andrey Shevchenko, or Katya, Kate.
Yeah, you should be able to hear me. Thank you very much, Andrew. It was a really, really nice introduction of what dynamic templates are, why they were made, what was actually the reason for creating things like that are actually helpful to all of you guys. And we're also very glad that you are still continuing to join us. And please don't hesitate to ask your questions, because we will answer them for sure. Right now, I will give the floor to another Andrew, to our CTO, and he will tell you a little bit about the templates, like some interesting features, some tiny but very important changes, sorry, not changes, implementations that were made in those templates, and that you probably didn't pay attention to them, but they're really, really interesting to look into and to study and to implement in your projects. So give me a minute. I'm giving the floor to Andrew.
1 second. I'll share my screen for you. Here it is. Can you see it? Okay, let's start. I just want to make some quick tips, not tips, some quick review on the most interesting features from my point for each dynamic template. So let's start. Let's start from brand goal. And here, the most interesting feature, as for me, It's an example of usage dynamic functionality. We make a video about this functionality a few days ago with Paul Charlton from VP Tuts. And we also use this functionality in our own templates. So here you can see different classes of cars to rental, and each class of car, it's a term in the taxonomy in the admin area. So each class contains some cars, and each car has some price. And on the homepage, we want to show minimal price of the car in the current taxonomy term. If we will output this manually, this also, I don't know, can be done manually. But when you're adding each new car, you need to check all places where you show this price and check if it's still reasonable. With the dynamic functionality module, you can just use dynamic tag for this and output the lowest price for the car in the category dynamically, as I said. So you don't need to worry about this price each time when you add a new car. It always will be minimal. I will not show you how it works in the admin area because it will take much more time for us. So you can just install this template with installation wizard and check how it's implemented. So what we have more in this template? Oh, one more interesting feature, it's active tags widget from JetSmart filters. From first version of JetSmart filters plugin, we have active filters widget, which output all checked values of each filter on the page as one big group. Now it outputted, as you can see, each time when I check some filter or change some value, it added as a separate button to the active filters section. So I also can remove it separately, not all grouped together. For example, fuel types, I added gasoline and biodiesel. I want to remove only gasoline, for example. And as you can see, it works fine. As I said, you also can check how this feature is implemented by installing this template with installation wizard and looking how this page actually built. So let's go for the next one. Next one is Bristol template. This is a hotel booking template. For example, for some small hotel with, as we can see, four types of rooms. And what interesting feature we have there? As for me, the most interesting and feature which you can miss when working with our booking form, it's a different type of additional services calculations, which could be implemented with our booking or with Jet Engine Forms logic. For example, let's select some dates. I selected 2 nights. I have a price to $2,100 per night, and you can see total price for $400 was calculated dynamically. Then, for example, I want add breakfast. As you see, it's added same value per one guest. per one guest per one day. So for example, now I selected breakfast for one guest for 2 nights. It added $10. If I now change to 2 guests, as you can see, it's changed to $20. Another type of additional service calculations, it's some value, just added value, added one time. For example, in this case, it's a transfer from airport. This transfer will be happen just one time when you arrived, and as usual, independent from the guest number. So it added a flat amount to the our price in $200 also. And another type of calculation, it's a calculation per night's number independent from guest number. It's, for example, I want to ask for extra bed added into this room. This feature is independent. This service is independent from guest number. It depends only from night's number. So if I check it, as you can see, it added $20. So it's also, you can check how this all configured by installing this template and go to appropriate booking form and check calculated field settings. Let's go to the another one. Another one, it's also booking hotel booking template, and it has, sorry, it has the same feature, but one more interesting thing here, it's WooCommerce integration. For example, I checked all my things, all my services, selected my dates, and want to my client pay me immediately for after booking a stay. So you can integrate booking plugin with WooCommerce, and immediately after filling booking form, you will be or your client will be redirected to the WooCommerce checkout page where your client can finalize booking and you will get paid immediately. I will not fill these fields to not waste our time. So let's move on. The next one, it's MedCenter template. It's a doctor appointment website, and the main functionality feature of this template, it's appointment form, because another thing is just custom post types, taxonomies, listings built with regular Jet Engine functionality, but to make it work like real medical center appointment system, we need an appointment form. So here it is. And one interesting, not one, just interesting things in this appointment form, it's, for example, a custom template for radio field for Jet Engine forms. As you can see, it could show you much more information than regular radio field where you can show only some text. Here you can build real listing with maybe photos, maybe some metadata, maybe anything you want, and show this listing like form field. And one more interesting feature in this case, like we can see, it's multi-step form, and steps are switched immediately by selecting value in this field. This feature is allowed for radio and select fields in the Jet Engine forms, and with this feature you can build better user experience for your forms. Your clients will not need to click additional buttons and just select some value in the field and already redirected to the next step. And then we can, as we can see, finalize appointment, select time. Here we need to also add the same feature to avoid clicking on this boring next button. For example, something like this, and make an appointment. Form submitted, appointment done. Moving on. Here I will not speaking a lot because it's a Barber Shop template and it's equal to the medical center. The main feature of this template, it's appointment form and it works in the same way. Oh, a bit problem, like we can see. We will fix this. And we have the next one, it's very interesting template, and its template was a huge pain for us. We making it with a lot of pain, like I said, but it has some also interesting features and some features which is not implemented at this moment in any other dynamic template. For example, it's a first template where we tried to use our new JetTalks 2.0, but it's not loaded for some reason. Believe me, when I tested, it works. Now looks like something went wrong, but it works. Here also we can see example of usage dynamic store module from JetEngine. This new model which was added in the JetEngine 2.4, and in this case, in this template, with help of this module, we implemented favorites functionality. Here you can see we can add some selected item to favorites or wish list. You can make it, you can name it like you want, and then we can go to our wish list and check what we added here, and remove, for example. And one more thing what I want to stop in this template, it's a public user page which implemented with the help of profile builder module from JetEngine, and it's also first template where we implemented this feature. Like you can see, with the help of profile builder module from JetEngine, you can build not only some kind of user account where user can change his own settings, but also some public user page which you can show for all visitors of your website. And from this page, for example, you can implement functionality to contact with user or show post by this user or anything you want. And the last one template, it's a car dealer template. It's plain template and without a lot of some extra features. It's all working, all dynamic, dynamically template. All posts are added with custom post types, all meta filled with custom meta fields. And the most interesting thing, as for me in this template, it's a dynamic pop-up with a contact seller form. This form is configured to send a letter, not the website administrator, but actual car seller. So also, like with all other features, you can install these templates from our installation wizard and check how these things are implemented, and implemented it on your website by yourself or build your own website directly from selected dynamic template. So let's go to the question. I'm done.
Our colleague could ask you try Baleranta single again.
Okay.
Maybe they fixed it.
You can share the screen one more time.
Oh, sorry. Forgot about this. Valorento, let's go. Single property. And yes, it works. And it's not, maybe not very styled yet, but it's our only first trying with usage of this new functionality. But in the future, we have a huge plans for updated Jet Reviews plugin, and planning to make it a huge and fully functional reviews platform. So now I'm really done with this. So let's go to the questions.
Is it good right now? Can you hear me? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Sorry, I forgot to turn on my mic. So yeah, sometimes it happens. Okay, so we already monitored some of the questions of yours that you've left in the chat box. And there are some questions about the fact that you cannot find the dynamic templates in your dashboard. So first of all, what you can do is you can download the latest version of the Crocoblock installation wizard. You can also check out the video that I recorded before we launched and released the dynamic templates. So there you can find all the instructions, how to install them, how to view them, and what you can do with those dynamic templates. And if you still have this issue, if for some reason you downloaded the newest version, but it still lacks the dynamic templates and the design templates, you can surely contact our support. You can, use the Facebook, you can use the chat box, the support chat box, and also, other messengers, and our support team will surely be glad to assist you with that. So some other questions. Let me open the document.
Kunal Kumar wants very much to give an answer on his questions.
Okay, just a second. Okay, so the question is, I have tried to create the vis-a-vis repeater section with Elementor Pro plus ACF Pro plus dynamic content, but I can't achieve it with it. Can it be possible probably with Jet Engine? So it's probably question to Andrew.
Yes. If you mean front-end forms, yes, it should be possible. I can't say in the 100% right now, but it should work. If it will not work, just let us know and we will fix it.
Okay, yeah. And always, guys, if you have some kind of technical issues, if something is not working as it should be, or as you expect it to be working, don't hesitate to contact support. I know sometimes they answer, it takes time to answer, but that's because we have a lot of you contacting us, and there are a lot of things to think about, to test on our side, on your side. So just don't hesitate to contact us, because we are here to help you. We are here to make your website building experience easy, enjoyable, and effective. Okay, so just don't hesitate to contact us. So let's move on to some other questions. Maybe Andrew, did you already monitor some of them?
Yes.
Maybe you can answer to.
Yes, I found some questions. For example, question about generic look of the upload picture of or file button. At this moment, we have not plans for closest time to make some visual changes into this control. But if you have a huge need on this, could you please create an issue at our GitHub with suggestions and describe more detail what exactly modifications you want to do, because for us often hard to understand what exactly features and functionalities you need from some parts of our plugins. That's why in some cases we left basic things and for first releases, and all extra features we trying to add by user request. So just let us know in suggestions repository with detailed info, and we trying to implement it. Also, I saw
highlight question from Joanna about body press.
Yes, I also watching for this question. Oh, yes, I found it. Do you think profile builder and query and upcoming thing can be end up being a replacement for body press? It can't totally replace body press because body press, it's a huge plugin with a huge amount of features which dedicated exactly this niche. And we can't cover all these features at the moment. But in most cases, you also don't need all features of body press in each project. So you can replace, you can't replace all features of body press with Jet Engine and Profile Builder. But in a lot of cases, you can't replace body press with Jet Engine for your current project, because as I said, you will not use every single one feature of body press in your project, and maybe functionality of Jet Engine will be enough for you. Let's. Also, I see some kind of maybe interesting question, but I not exactly understand it. Could you please specify it? I said about question, hello, is the possibility to automatically switch off contributions on a certain date? Could you please explain more detailed what you mean on contributions on certain date? Maybe bookings on some date or appointments on some date?
Okay, guys, there also were some questions in the beginning.
I'm sorry, I have
Okay, go ahead.
a question from Kunal Kumar. It's my personal fan, I guess, for today. Due to this COVID-19, all the schools are getting closed. So we are taking our school online. So please create a plugin for online classes, live classes, quiz, etc. Dear Kunal Kumar, personally, me want to do everything that exists in IT, you know. But we have so many plugins for now, so many functionalities that we just physically cannot produce something new. We have to maintain, support, and develop plugins that we have for now. So I'm sorry, but in nearest future, we're not going to produce quiz or live classes, online classes plugins.
Okay, so in the beginning there were some questions. I would like to read them. So I bought dynamical set. Later I would like to upgrade to all-inclusive. I don't have your premium templates. I find Kava lacking some features. Will Cadence theme be 100% compatible with your plugins? Andrew, what can you tell about this? Theme compatibilities.
The only problems could appear with Theme Builder, but I think we can add compatibility like we added it to for the Astra theme, for example, or Ocean or General Press, because Cadence theme becomes more and more popular last time. So I think we'll try to add compatibility with Theme Builder in closest future. But as for all other features, yes, it will be compatible. Also, I see that our user is explaining a question, what I asking for. And this question was about set a post expiration. For example, to mark post as expired, for example, after 30 days from publishing this post. This not first request about this functionality. To be honest, we don't plan to add it in the nearest time. But I tried to think about it. Maybe we will add some snippets to our documentation how to do this, or some tiny plugin which can cover this case. Not sure about when it will be implemented directly into JetEngine, but we'll try to post a solution in the nearest future. If we will not, please send us some notice, maybe in our Facebook community, or maybe directly into Facebook, into my direct messages in the Facebook.
Okay, there was a question in regards to loading the dynamic templates. Flipback answered the question, why do the dynamic templates take around 8 seconds to load on good hosting?
Where?
Not sure. As you've seen, I checked all templates when demonstrating features to you, and it worked quickly. But yes, it loaded with a lot of content, with a lot of widget on each page, with a lot of functionality, forms, pop-ups. So on some servers, maybe some performance issues can appear, but it all could be fixed with caching plugins for not logging users, for example, or by optimizing your content, or by partially optimizing screens, or by your assets, or by disabling unnecessary widgets from our plugins, or unnecessary modules from our plugins. So it's a lot of variants how to
It
optimize
could be a million
performance.
of reasons. Yeah, if you have some issues or problems with loading time, you can always ask our support team.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. One CEO answered the question. Oh, sorry, asked the question. Constructed a complicated booking system with your Jet engine and Jet smart filters. Awesome, but needed additional functionality for the variables. Are you looking to add more choices here?
Not exactly understand what meant by variables in this case. The question for our users who asked this question, could you please provide some details in the comment? We'll try to answer you.
Yes, like what do you mean by the variables? You mean like the variables of different templates, or the variables like as functionality, or yeah. Okay, so what's next? Your smart filters is the best on the market, hands down. Thank you. So, are you looking to do more educational videos based on selling services rather than products? Yes, for sure. We are working on the videos. The video production team is working, I would say, day and night, probably, because like as you can see, we're adding personnel. So we have 2 Julias as of now. So we are, we have our hands on the video content and things like that to make your life a bit easier with, for some people who don't like to read a lot of documentation, it's easier to turn on the video and, just look through it and learn as you go. Then yes, we are working on it, and there will be a lot more interesting video tutorials. And I can say that there will be some tutorials that will be like very short, but was just the straight answer to some questions that you guys ask our support. So stay subscribed to our channel, hit the bell to receive notifications, and you will see what's going to happen in the nearest future. Yeah.
And I want to add that our friend and partner Paul Charlton helps us with this learning process, and I want to say him great thanks. And we are going to start partnerships with other famous vloggers. So in nearest future, you will see more video tutorial, how-to tutorial, because we understand this is very important. And for my mind and for our mind, video format is more comfortable for learning. So we want to make a lot of it. Yeah, thank you. Good question from Marco. Do the plugins slow down my website? Yes, why not? But what plugins? Our plugins or some your plugins? And, of course, plugins can slow down your website. And why so many plugins? I think it's a question for us why we have so many plugins, or what? Can you precise your question, please?
Okay, so I have another question from Ashish Sarvankar. Is it possible to make operational hours, weekly working hours, widget with Jet engine?
Yes, you can, for example, use option page functionality for such logic, for such feature, for such thing. We recently updated Jet engine with tiny new feature. This feature allows to build listings based on the repeater from options. So you, for example, can create repeater in the options with, you can create option page with Jet engine. Add to this option page repeater field with your working hours, and then output this repeater field with Jet engine listing grid widget, and you can use this widget anywhere on your website. And when you will change your working hours in the options, it will be dynamically changed in every single place where you added it with listing grid widget.
Okay, so there were also two questions from D. Hampty. So the first one, will you add a feature to delete bookings via front end?
Yes, this feature, it's in our roadmap to the future booking and appointment also releases. I can't remember into what exactly version it planned at this moment, but as what I can say right now is that we need maybe a few months. Not unfortunately, we can't deliver this feature earlier.
Okay, and there was a second question also from this person, and the feature to block times when the hotel is closed.
This interesting feature, we need to add it into the roadmap. For some reason, we missed it. But yes, it's very reasonable. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it would be good to also write it on GitHub page as well, and we will write it down right now. So that's a good one. Okay, so let me find another question. There is a question not really related to the dynamic templates. Guys, are you going to answer it or no? So there was a question about the Jet Engine 2.5. What will be the major features of the next release? Are we going?
It's a secret.
Uh,
I'm joking.
As I remember last time when we making such stream and I sent links into the chat, this links was not displayed. So I will not do the same again, but we'll describe in the words. We have, as I said a couple of times, GitHub page with suggestions. And on this page, you can also find milestones section. And in this section, we created not each time, but for example, for Jet Engine, for each major releases, we created milestones and add issues from suggestions, which will be added to this version. For example, you now can go to the GitHub page, find milestone Jet Engine 2.5 and look for issues which will be covered and closed for this milestone. Also, now we're working on some features, one big feature. It's not presented in our suggestions, but it's still on early stage of development, so we will give more info about this feature when it will be ready to show for all of you. I think it will be with beta release of Jet Engine 2.4 in maybe months of 2 months. I hope in months, maybe.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm looking through the questions. Just give me a second.
Here I found question about error with conditional logic and extended letters in Jet Engine 2.4. Thank you. We not catch this bug during our test, and we'll try to fix it as soon as possible. I will copy it. I will note it to don't forget about this bug. Thank you.
So Lilian is asking a question: will it be or is possible to set meta field and taxonomy the same time from one single select field from front-end form?
It can be done with default logic of Jet Engine forms, but it's easy to implement with custom snippet. Please find me in our Facebook community. I name it Andrew Shevchenko, like here, and send me a direct message in the Facebook, and I will try to help you with this. It requires a bit of custom code, and it will work.
There was another short question. Can we create a form with a hidden field for parameter URL?
Yes, I think yes. I trying to remember exact option for it. If you give me 1-2 minutes, I will check this right now. So Kate, could you please look for another question while I'll check?
Yeah, sure.
Flip back, asking about public roadmap. Unfortunately, for now, we haven't got a public roadmap, but we are working on it. We want to have it, and we always wanted to have it, but it's not so easy because we don't want to give people, empty promises, because not usually plans turns into the real life. So we don't wanna write that we are going to release some that and that feature and then just change our plans. But we are working on it. I can repeat, and in nearest future it will be on our side.
Okay, there was also a question in regards to the Jet appointment update. Are we gonna release an update soon for the Jet appointment plugin? And what would be the main features and interesting functions in the Jet appointment?
Yes, we now working on new version. The main features are related to make more flexible schedule for services and providers. For example, you can set not only excluded days but excluded periods. You can, for example, set up a schedule for each service individually, and some more interesting feature. I hope we will release it maybe even with beta version, so soon you can check these features. As for previous question about hidden field and query variable, yes, you can do this. You just need to add hidden type new field into JetTalks form, select type hidden, and select query variable as source of the hidden value.
As I can see already in the chat, some people are asking to add more field types to Jet Engine. Are we planning on adding any field types to Jet Engine? Some other?
At this moment, no, but as I always say in such cases, please left your suggestions at our GitHub repo, and we will check it and try to implement. I understand that we may be not doing it as fast as you want, but we trying to do our best on this. And as you can see, a lot of issues already closed. So if you will already close it and implement it. So if you will add your issue at our suggestion repository, we will definitely check it and try to implement. But only one thing that I can say right now, what time we will need to implement exactly your feature, exactly your requested feature.
Okay, that was really interesting question in regards to the post expiration. Yes, Sai Krishna is asking, I'm making a job portal with Jet Engine. I surely require post expiration feature. Is there any alternative solution till you include this feature in Jet Engine?
Yes, this question was in a bit earlier, and as I said, I try to look into some solution for this issue. It will not be on first stage. It will not be some part of Jet Engine functionality, but it will be maybe some code snippet to add into your theme functions PHP file, or it will be some tiny plugin which with help of which you can implement this functionality.
Very good question from Marco. What are the plans to make everything easy? We always want to make everything easy, but give us some time. I think before New Year. I repeat, we have to maintain our current products. And then I promise, frankly speaking, I don't know how, but we feel that everything could be easier, especially towards such complicated things like Jet Engine, appointment, booking. And I promise that we will make everything easier, but soon, in the next year, I guess.
Here I found also an interesting question about options page. Will it be possible to access from the forms in the future? As I understand, it means to update values in the option page from the front-end forms. Yes, it's a great feature. I don't know why. I also don't know why we miss it, but we definitely add it, and I think maybe even in very short future, because it not requires a lot of work. So we'll try to add it maybe with some of minor updates of Jet Engine, for example, 2.4.9 or 2.4.10. So I hope in 1-2 weeks.
Cyprian Pentelescu asks twice, when is the next Black Friday event? I think the next Black Friday event will be on Black Friday, I guess. But if you are asking about some sale, so I will not tell you, because it's not fair, I guess, to warn people about our sales. So just wait. I'm sorry.
Yes, also there was kind of similar question to the previous ones. Marco asked, can we create post schedules so that automations are removed or posted?
As I said, it's at first time it's highly requested feature, and we'll try to add it into Jet Engine itself, but not sure about exact dates because we have a lot of things we already planned to develop and a lot of some tiny things or bugs which we receive almost each day from our users. So the best way to make sure your feature request will not be lost, it's added to GitHub page. We checking all the requests at this page a couple of times in the week. And before each major release of each plugin, or maybe when we have some free time to develop some extra features. So we very often check these issues. So if you will add your feature request into the feature issues, it will not be lost.
There also was an interesting question from indie creators. In the future, plan to make some way to show dynamic link widget label with supporting dynamic tag. So if you have two separate meta box, link and one text, this is useful if in making repeater listing. Yeah. Did you find this question? So dynamic link widget with the dynamic tag.
Yes, I understand your point. I don't know what time today I will say this. We will add this functionality, but you can see how much requests we receive only during, for example, for such event. So you can imagine how much requests we receiving each day from all our clients. So again, as I said, the best way to make sure your request will not be lost, it's add it to our GitHub page. And if you think you can't live without this feature, it's very important. You can also write directly me in the Facebook, for example, or write into the Facebook community or write into the live chat support. We always open for any suggestions from our clients, and we try to implement it each time.
Arash wrote us, these JetTalks should happen more often, especially with Kate and Alex, because they make the best tutorials. Who is Alex? I'm sorry. I don't know who is Alex, but we will ask her or him. I agree. We understand it. We are working on it, and we are working on that in nearest future. This happens approximately one per week, and in some ideal world twice a week. Yeah, we understand that it's very useful. It's very useful. Yeah.
I found also interesting question. Sorry if it's not in the order of all questions. hi, it's possible to add for Jet Forms or Jet Engine special card for several submits in one place, for example, card. And there was no need to install WooCommerce for card. Yes, it's we're thinking about this feature, and one of first steps for implementing this feature, it's data stores module. So with data stores, you already can make some analog of card, but the one thing we'll have to do, it's push this data from data stores module into the Jet Engine forms. So when we resolve this problem, you can create cart with only Jet Engine plugin.
Stratus Tutorials is saying that search form has only one selector for taxonomy. Please add more.
I think for complicated cases of search, it's better to use Jet Smart Filters plugin, where you can create a search field and any additional fields you want. Because Jet Search plugin was planned like some quick solution for some blog-like sites or some WooCommerce stores where you need, as I said, quick search. For example, some search in header section where you want to just write quickly product name and some basic taxonomy and get quick results. For more advanced cases, I recommend to use Jet Smart Filters plugin, because if we will start to add more fields for taxonomies or something else, it will be not some endpoint for it, because if we added one more field, why not add two more? If we added 3 fields for taxonomies, for example, why not add some additional field for some meta search? And in this case, we will get the same thing what Jet Smart Filters to do, but in much more complicated interface.
Question from Flipback. Would you guys consider making a recipe plugin? Recipe, yeah. The first, I ask you to specify what does you mean. What do you mean? And you can write as a letter and describe all features that you want to see in this plugin, because if we haven't got a plugin that is called Jet Recipe, it doesn't mean that we don't have such functionality. I said that our plugins are built on an abstract model, and combining all this functionality from every plugin, combining Jet Engine filters, appointment booking here, you can create whatever you want. So I will not be surprised if we already have such functionality that you want to see in a recipe plugin.
There was a question from Mauro Carrera. Crocus team should add a 360 gallery into Jet Elements. Would be amazing. Well, you can again, write your suggestion on our GitHub page, and we will consider it and decide whether it's possible to implement, how soon, and our developers will work on it. And Will G is asking, in the future, will you have a checkbox or select field that pulls through related posts from post relations?
Such functionality already can be implemented, but with a bit of custom code. So I think we will add example of this code into some documentation or something else. And yes, you can do this. And I also try to make this code snippet in next few days, at the start of the next week, for example, like a post expiration date.
And also, there was another suggestion from Stratus Tutorials. I would like to have labels and values in Jet Engine. Also, I would like to select what I will display, the value or the label.
Sorry, I wrote previous suggestion to don't forget it and don't hear your question. Could you please replay it?
That's okay. So Stratus Tutorials is giving us another suggestion. I would like to have labels and values in Jet Engine. Also, I would like to select what I will display, the value or the label.
To be honest, I don't exactly understand about what part of Jet Engine we're speaking. Could you please specify it in comments?
There was another question from Kunal Kumar. Can we add vis-a-vis repeater field on custom post types list, not on front-end forms?
If you mean at the backend in the meta field section, as I remember, yes, you can add it because it was not work for some time, and as I remember, we fixed this issue.
There is a question in Russian. What do you think about it? Are we gonna
I think you should translate it at first for other people. There is one more question from Marco. Are there plans to cooperate with other developers such as Zapier? For now, we have no plans to cooperate with exactly with Zapier, but we are open to cooperate and make partnerships with any developers and any services. question from Arash. Also, I believe JetEngine should come preloaded with some free templates and demos. What do you mean? Can you precise, please? What demos and templates do you want with JetEngine?
And there was another question. Is it possible to add JetForms special card for several submits in one place, for example, card? And there was no need to install WooCommerce. Did we answer this question? Yeah? Oh, sorry, I missed it. Okay. Also, there was another question. I would like the search to add as many as I want custom fields from JetEngine as filters in the search form, not filters in the archive page.
As I said when answering the question about additional taxonomy field, for complicated search cases, it's better to use a smart filters widget because it developed exactly for such purposes. If we will even try to implement this logic in the Jet search widgets, it will be very hard to configure it because it could be a lot of variation how you maybe want to combine your fields. Maybe you want to add some search field and some select field for additional meta, or maybe search field and some checkboxes list for additional meta. And all of these things are required some admin interface to configure it. All these things are requires additional styling options. And all of these things you already can do with Jet Smart Filters plugin. Just showcase results not in the same way like Jet Search widget in the plugin. But also, as I said before, Jet Search plugin was specially developed in this way to make it easy to use and quick to configure when you need to some lightweight search system and you don't want to make some complicated things on your website. Just to add one widget and start to search.
Arash precised his questions. His question about templates, dynamic templates. He writes something like dynamic products introductions or a combination of JetEngine and JetBooking, some simple usage of the power of JetEngine. I mean, okay, I got it, and we will consider it, and maybe in nearest future we will do it. And Marco asks, does your tool work with all themes? We don't know because there are millions of themes. We hope so, but we cannot test every theme in the world. We can be sure that Crocoblock and Jet plugins works with most famous themes. But to say that all theme works with it, we can't, sorry.
So guys, we are already 1.5 hours live. So right now let's try to search for some really interesting questions, and probably we'll have to end our live conversation for today. So the most interesting questions, not the ones that like, oh, how it works or will this be implemented? As you already understood, like some of the suggestions, some of the questions like, do you have this, or like, how can I implement it? You can address them to the support, or you can also share your ideas on the GitHub page. And something, really interesting, really concerning some of the functionalities of dynamic templates, for example. Okay, there was a question, is it possible for Jet Engine Forms to connect to WooCommerce to create a marketplace with Crocoblock multi-vendor?
No, at this moment, Jet Engine Forms could be connected with WooCommerce only in context of Jet Booking plugin or Jet Appointment. When you use this plugin and want to redirect user to WooCommerce checkout after user will submit your Jet Engine form, it can be done, but not in the Jet Engine itself. Maybe we will also consider on adding this feature in the future, but you know what to do. Just add it to our GitHub page to make sure it will not be lost.
There is another question in regards to maps listings. And this question was asked a lot under the videos and also in the Facebook community. Could you add the functionality so users can search within 10 or 20 miles of London, for example? So the search by the distance. Do we have this in our roadmap?
It's already in our roadmap. It's in the roadmap on the Jet Smart Filters update, but it's very hard to say right now what exactly version where we will add this feature. We thinking about it, we remembered about it, we receiving sometimes requests about this feature, and we'll implement it in some day.
So guys, do you see any other interesting questions that you would like to answer?
I think it's a very easy question. Can we turn functions on or off after downloading a plugin?
Yes, of course. You can, for example, in almost all our plugins, you can enable, disable widgets. It's JetElement, JetBlocks, JetBlog, JetTricks, any JetTool Builder. So you can just install plugin, go to plugin settings and disable features you don't need. In the Jet Engine, you even can enable, disable a big logical part of plugin, like modules. And I can say more that all modules of Jet Engine are disabled by default. So it's trying to be so tiny like it can be. And only if you need some feature, for example, forms, you go to module settings and activate it. Also, in Jet Engine, for much deeper cases, even exists possibility to disable some basic components like meta fields, like option pages or CPTs, but I will not recommend to use this feature because it could have impact on other parts of plugin functionality. For example, if you will disable meta boxes, you will disable it for all instances where these meta boxes are used, and meta boxes are used for creating list of meta fields. So it will be disabled for taxonomies, it will be disabled for posts, it will be disabled for taxonomies, for meta boxes itself, and even for option pages, because in the backend it's the same logic, just implemented in a bit different way.
Is it possible to make in one plugin instead of 18? No, it's not possible. And we answered on these questions. We gave a wide answer. There are several reasons why it is forbidden to do this. In short, we cannot do it because of speed and performance. Believe us, it's better to have 18th plugin instead of one.
Okay, so probably we have the last question for today, and it's actually really interesting. It's in regards to Jet Engine and the Forms module. York is asking if we are planning to extend the calculating feature in the Jet Forms, for example, discount functionality based on amounts. So, Andrew, is
discounts, we're already thinking about it, but at this moment we have not realistic plans how and when we will implement this logic. As for calculations itself, for example, for much or more complicated calculations, or for example, to use some functions in the calculated fields, it also, we have not at this moment some real plans. So if you need some feature related to the calculations, or you have some requests, you can go to the GitHub, as I said a lot of times today, and we will check your requests, and we will think how to implement it in the best way.
Yes, guys. So
I think I'm sorry. Important question. And Kate, I'm sorry, but I think it's a very important question. When I put the license, I can install any Jet plugin from the backend of WordPress. So when my client gets the website, he can do this also. Can I stop it? I think it's somehow a misunderstanding here, because if you don't give your license key to your clients will never be possible to download. No, download they can. I'm sorry, but update and support is forbidden. Yeah, am I right?
At this moment, it will can download and update plugins from admin area where you put your license key, but he can't came to support. And now we thinking about adding some, I don't know how to
license
name
manager,
it.
I guess. Yeah.
Yes, some kind of license manager in your account where you can create a child license for your main license and put this child license at your client website. So when we will implement this functionality, when we will add it into a Crocoblock account, I think this issue will not be actual anymore.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days ago, we were considering this issue, and we are going to make some license manager, like Andrew said.
And I guess this is another request from Marco, FAQ button in the widgets or tooltips. So Marco, you are totally welcome to leave all your ideas, all your suggestions on our GitHub page, and our developers will surely look through them and think how they can be implemented and when. Okay? So guys, what do you think? Are we gonna answer some other questions, or are we done for today? It's almost 2 hours actually.
I think it's enough because we are really tired.
Oh yeah.
It's so exhausting as it appears.
And yes, guys, save some of your questions for the next JetTalks, and we will surely be glad to answer them. And don't hesitate to ask the questions in the Facebook community or contact the support team, because we are here for you, you know, and we will be very, very, very glad to answer those questions and to see all those suggestions that you post on the GitHub page. Andrew, could you please turn off your mic? Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Okay, guys, so thank you very much for joining us today. It was a great pleasure to communicate with you, to see you being so active, asking all, you know, tons of those questions. Like, we actually, to tell the truth, we were not ready to see so many questions in the chat, and we were like, okay, we will come and we will sit for like 30 minutes, no one's gonna answer and ask anything, and we'll be like, okay, sure, bye. Good weekend. But as we can see, you're very active. We can see that you have a lot of your ideas that are actually can be implemented by our developers, and this is great, amazing, wonderful, super cool, and, you know, like all those best words that can express our feelings, you know, this cooperation between us and between you, and it's just super amazing. So thank you very much one more time for joining us. Maybe Andrews will have a desire to say the last word.
Thank you all, guys, for being with us. It's we're really so excited to see you. I'm really surprised that you are with us and ask questions on Friday evening. You know, it's very cool and very pleasant. I appreciate you. And by the way, don't forget about dynamic templates. Yeah, because they're very powerful tools for you. Yeah, and that's all. Have a nice weekend and take care of you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.